Come on, Tae. I'll call Jungkook inside and we have dinner together. Deong smiled. No, we need to go. It's important. They didn't want to mention the doctor because we won't tell him that he was going to see a gynecologist. They would worry otherwise. Okay, as you wish. Come back soon. Hmm? Deong said, and they glared at his brother and nodded. I'll try, they said and walked downstairs with Jungkook. He didn't want any of his parents to follow him, and they didn't. They have a lot on his mind already. Once he had said goodbye to Deong, he walked toward the car and sat inside, sighing out of breath. They started the car and gave their worried look. They clenched his jacket that was in his hand and bit his lips. That's bad, he asked, and they shrugged. With the buttons on his jacket, we can go home if you want. I don't want to stress you, sweetheart. They smiled at his strange nickname and shook his head. No, it's all right. It was just a lot to take in. They just wanted to get all over this. He didn't want to delay going to doctors anymore. You want to talk about it? He grabbed the hand and squeezed it gently. No, not right now. They shook his head, and after a few minutes, Jungkook stopped the car in the hospital parking lot and looked at him. Don't worry, Dee. He smiled at him, erasing his nervous a bit. We're going to be okay. They were just empty words. Nobody knew what the future held, and they gave him a smile and nodded. Let's do this. They nodded. Let's go. They both got out of the car and walked inside the building. Jungkook checked his appointment with the doctors and went inside his office with Taeyoung's hand in his. Whatever happened, don't worry. Jungkook assured him and they nodded and swallowed. I'm just a little nervous. What if? No, what if they? He said strictly, and they signed and nodded. Now come on, be brave. He kissed their forehead and walked inside. As they took seat after the doctor, both were anxious. They fell in his seat and waited for him. The doctor started throwing questions at them. Jungkook was calm and composed. He was used to keeping the face, but for inside, he was far from that. What gave you the idea that you might be pregnant? At that doctor, she was quite young, and they feel a little comfortable in her presence. As he opened his mouth to answer, Jungkook uttered, He's having mood swings. He said, and they looked at him with wide eyes and tried not to punch him. What the heck? That was the reason he thought he was pregnant. And mood swings. When did they had mood swings? He was not serious. Was he? The doctor gave him a look and leaned back in the chair. Mood swing isn't the only sign of pregnancy. It could be anything. Oh great, the doctor thought what a stupid couple it was, asking stupid questions. I would like for the runner test, he said, and it averted his gaze. Did you two have? They stopped breathing and looked at the doctor. His cheeks were crunched and he wanted the coach to open up and swallow him whole. Of course we had. That's why we are here, Jungkook said, as if the doctor in front of him was stupid. They closed his eyes and groaned. He was so bold, and he didn't like it. It made him uncomfortable. Okay, the doctor nodded. I'm Taeyoung. I need you to take the test in the washroom. She handed the 3 boxes, and they eyed it as he was allergic to them. Then I need to do a blood test. You will get the reports in 3 days. They clapped and looked at Jungkook. Go, he said. Could he not go out of the room and make it less awkward? He was just walking the definition of making people uncomfortable. They stood up for the chair, snapped the box, and walked inside the washroom. Well, he could have done that on his own. He didn't need to come. They did what the instruction told him to do, and then waited for quite some time. What if I am pregnant? Even if Jungkook had been stupid, they let out a shaky breath and picked up the straight on the counter. Signing out again, they sent a prayer upward and then looked at the test. His heart was pounding in his chest and he signed out, placing the test on the counter. They bent down and closed his eyes, swallowed repeatedly. What was happening to him? Was this not what he wanted, for the result to be negative? Then why was there so many heavy inside his heart, with so much guilt rising up within him? They blinked his eyes, and in them he starred 3 negative signs glaring at him. Maybe the idea of being pregnant has raised hopes within they. They picked up the test and threw it in the bin before washing his hand. They took a deep breath in and walked out of the bathroom. He saw the pale face of Jungkook, giving him an reassuring smile. It's negative. The doctor nodded and they wrote something on the paper. All right, do you want me to your pills? She asked, and the young eyes were winded. He gasped silently. No, it's safe. Mr. Theon, your husband is right. If you both don't want a child right now, then you should take the pills. Oh no, no one was going to tell thee what to do. Well, the smartest way is avoid having children. Stay away from each other. They glared at Jungkook, whose mouth was opened. What? I'm not letting you touch me, Jungkook. You can get the idea out of your mind. They rolled his eyes and crossed his arm. So you think we are going to do that again? In his dream. Jungkook scratched his brow. A pink color tinted his cheeks. Yeah, now you're blushing. Stay out of this fantasy world. Having a healthy love is good, doctor suggested. If you take the pills, it's more safe than using. I'm having no, they snapped. The poor doctor, who seemed shocked at that. He just liked to live in fantasies. They looked at Jungkook and shot him a cold look. Look, whatever problems you do have, we don't have problems. I don't know why he thought I could be pregnant. They grumbled. And from his vision, he saw Jungkook narrowed his eyes at him. Because you were having a good mood swings. You were acting so strange. One moment you were crying, another moment you were laughing, he said, and their mouth opened as he gasped. And it's not even just that. I just wanted to make sure. You idiot, they hissed and punched his thighs. That was my jealousy speaking. Why couldn't you think that? I could have acted strangely because I was jealous. They felt heat on his cheeks and neck. That was the reason he thought he was pregnant. Jungkook gaped at him, opening his closed mouth. I just thought we had. Stop. That might have been your dream. I don't even remember anything. I was drunk. You forced your wife, Mr. John? The doctor jumped in. What? No. Oh my. I could never do that. He glared at that offensive doctor.